Bunky here. Let's rock this bad boy. The Drell assassin is amazing. I absolutely love this guy, and for some reason my love isn't shared. Let me show you how to play him, because there's not enough people doing so. He's so good. He is so good, guys. For the tactical cloak, it's typical damage boost scenario here. Go with damage for your first evolution, get yourself some recharge speed for the next. Don't worry about bonus power or anything like that. Okay, guys, there's a cool little trick I'll show you. Well, it's not a trick, it's just the way the game works. I'll get into more detail with that in the gameplay. Homing grenades, little different from the Demolisher, okay? You can go with damage, that's still a fantastic evolution, but I do like to rock the impact radius on this guy because you can, well, we are going to destroy crowds of enemies, and we'll be able to do that a bit better when we've got a nice 3-meter radius on the homing grenade. You still want the fire damage, so you definitely want that dot, and you definitely want armor damage too, okay, so we can literally just make the armor takes more weapon damage after it's hit, obviously do more damage to armor. We're a boss killer. We're a really great boss killer and killer away all things. And it's because of this combination here. He's rocking the Recon mine. Now this is one of the coolest powers to come out of Retaliation. On one of the coolest characters to come out of Retaliation. Coincidence, maybe? This is how I recommend you build Recon mine, okay? Go with the radius, because that is colossal, okay? It's a 12-meter scan and a 9-meter explosion radius. Okay, that's huge. That's bigger than arc grenades by an entire meter. For the next evolution, go get the damage here, okay, guys, because the explosion is pretty nice. It's a nice little explosion there. It's like frag grenade damage. It's pretty good. And then for the final evolution, go with invasive scan. Okay, this is really going to make the homing grenades hurt, because look at that, enemies take 25% more damage from all sources. They move slower, 30% slower, but it's that debuff, okay? So it basically, you can debuff so many enemies with the Recon mine. You can debuff a ton of enemies, and then to top it all off, you can blow them all up as well, so it's a really, really awesome move. Drell Assassin, okay, he is a caster. Go with damaging capacity, power damage, and then get yourself some weapon damage, okay? And then you just stick 3 points in fitness. That's all you need. It is all you're going to need. For the weapon, I'm going to be rocking the Talon, okay, the awesome gun. Definitely one of my second favourite gun in the game, okay, the Talon. I do love this little pistol. I'm sticking on the piercing mod. You can go ahead and rock the heavy barrel to do some more damage, but I do like the piercing mod just so we can hurt armour more and get around guardian shields and all that kind of good stuff. But then look, now we got the pistol power magnifier, increased power damage by 30%. Our homing grenades and Recon mine are going to love that. For the equipment, I'm going to be rocking disruptor rounds. Going to throw in some tech bursts up in here. That's going to do some really lovely damage. Armor bonus is going to be more power damage, power amplifier. 4, so we got a 50% increase there, and I'm going to be rocking the grenade capacity. This is going to be another grenade spammy kind of character, but it's good grenade spamming. Okay, get the grenade capacity on there, and then obviously you want the pistol rail lamp then, or the appropriate rail lamp. I'll get into the choices like I always do in the gameplay, but let's jump into that now. So it's me, Dom, Tech, and Samurai Tivo again. We're doing Unknown Gold. I think you guys know the score from now on. This is actually going to be incredible gameplay, actually. I go nuts with this guy, I absolutely do, because I can. He is a walking kill streak. He absolutely is. I'm talking, that's the kind of crowd control we're looking at here with this guy. Definitely one of the coolest things to come out of Retaliation, absolutely. One of the few I believe many were looking forward to, actually, out of the characters, because we did all, when Retaliation, it was Retaliation, when Retaliation first came out, the DLC, we all got a glimpse at all the characters to come. BioWare sort of play it off like it was an accident, but I think it was done on purpose to be, I really think it was. I think we were all supposed to see then, and then they took him away, and it was we never knew what character was going to come out next out of all the characters that we saw. People caught a glimpse that there was going to be a Drell Infiltrator. I mean, that was heavily requested to start with, but then we could see him right there, and we saw that he had homing grenades, and that got people excited as well already. An infiltrator with homing grenades, and it wasn't long before the first characters we got to play with was like the Volus engineer, and we got to play with Recon mine, and then I think everyone just saw this potential, massive potential. So everyone was very excited to get the Drell Infiltrator. He was one of the last ones to come out. He came out very late in the DLC because they were really annoying with it, to be perfectly honest. It was to keep us hanging, keep us interested. It's like there was like 16 new characters that came out with a retaliation, and they released them one a week. So yeah, it basically got drawn out big time. Retaliation. It kind of annoyed some people because there's obviously a lot of characters in Retaliation that really wasn't exciting people, and nobody was particularly happy when that's what we got that week and stuff. But people wanted the Drell Infiltrator. He came out, and as far as I'm concerned, he did not disappoint. This guy wrecks. Okay, he's absolutely wild. He's so much fun. I hope you can see already, wave 1 gone, just how just run around and taking out masses in moments. He is incredible crowd control with this guy. A lot of people. I see randoms, and I've managed to speak to, and a lot of my friends and stuff find him a bit too complicated. All they just opt for running around detonating the Recon mine every second, which is annoying. It is annoying. I've been on the receiving end of that. It just sort of fills everybody's screen with thick black smoke, so you don't get to see shit, and then all you get to see is the kill feed where he's basically robbed every single kill. So that's kind of annoying. It's still kind of happening in this one, but not to such an overdone extent, really. The Recon mine's the finishing blow. I'm going to try and really simplify how to play it, because it's really not that complicated. Okay, it isn't as complicated as people think. There's a cool little thing that I did mention in the build that I'm going to tell you about now that you really ought to know, is that grenades and mines, those type of powers, they don't take off your cloak. You can throw grenades and you can shoot mines and your cloak stays on. And that's what he's got, guys. He's got tactical cloak, a grenade, and a mine. So that is exactly how it sounds, guys. You can get out both of his powers and keep his cloak on. That means you can wreck a area completely unseen and benefit from all the damage boosts as well, because it's just all in play. It never comes off. It's that cool, but it is a bit more complicated than that. Let me show you. I'll break it down, the exact steps you want to take, and just how it works, essentially, guys. Because of how I just told you now, the grenades and mines don't come off. What you want to do, you want to run up to a group, you want to cloak. First thing you do is stick out your Recon mine, then fire off a homing grenade. If you're dealing with like one chunky enemy, just fire 1. If you're dealing with a big group or a big boss, fire 2. Kind of the same sort of proportions I was giving out in the Batarian Soldier video with the Inferno grenades. That's the kind of thing you want to be doing with this guy. You want to just sort of cloak, Recon mine, get your homing grenades out. Homing grenades travel very slowly. Okay, they travel very slowly. So what you want to do while they're traveling is you start taking some pop shots. You're going to start applying some ammo with your gun. So when the grenades hit, you get a tech burst. Okay, and then obviously the grenades hit hard. Anything that survives anything that survives, obviously the enemy are debuffed by the Recon mine, okay? Anything that manages to survive the tech burst and the homing grenade hit, and then the damage over time the homing grenade's doing, you will literally be able to polish off with just by detonating the Recon mine. And from that point on, guys, it is rinse and repeat. If you're dealing with like one small enemy, you'll see you do get them little mooks that's gone stray. You can just cloak, put a Recon mine, shoot them, and then detonate the Recon mine. That's pretty much going to deal with them. And it is that, guys. It really is. Just cloak, recon mine, homing grenades, shoot, detonate recon mine. Find your next group of guys. And and it is groups of guys you take out. Now, sorry that extraction took a bit long. It was pretty much just me and TiVo doing it for the most part. Techno did manage to shift his ass in gear. You'll have to forgive me. I gave Dom a bit of a taste for the Volus Merc, it seems. That's who he's playing in this gameplay. Must not be working out for him, though, because he's being a pussy. He's hiding underneath the map. Something you can do on Dagger, guys, is you can it's right by that ammo box I just passed. You can just sort of roll off the map somehow. You have to be off host. And you can slip into the map, and what you can do then is you can attack the enemy, but they can't attack you. And that's where Dom is now. He's just hiding there, picking on the Bwnci, who cannot strike him back. Yeah, don't ask me how you do that. I don't know, and I don't care to know. I don't like those kind of things. Okay, it's against the spirit of the game, and it's annoying when basically all that does is leave you or whatever team you're running with a man down, and they're just taking the aggro that you should have been getting. To be honest, I mean, in that situation, the Bwnci really could see Dom and wanted Dom, but when you're off the map, that just means that all attention just goes to your teammates and you're not getting any. So it's a dick move. It's a real dick move. So don't ask me how to do that. I've never bothered to learn. I've got my own moral compass on the whole thing. But there you go. It's definitely a cool trick. I'm not ignorant to that, because one thing you can do when you're down there is actually roll straight off the map onto LZ again. So it's a really good way to extract. Just literally hide under the map, kill a load of things, and then just slip off over to LZ when you need to be there. It's a fiendish trick, though. It's sneaky, it's underhanded, and let it be on record that my friends are scrubs. Nah, I don't need them. The Drell assassin is incredible, guys. I hope you can see this. You literally just massacre entire groups. I mean, it's really no stretch of the imagination to just get kill streaks without rockets with this guy. You just absolutely can. It's just because he does so much damage to such a large area. I don't think it's matched. I really think he's quite unmatched in the amount of damage he does in that kind of radius. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really care, because what's going on here is still amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Now, I don't want you to get panicky that I've unleashed a monster onto the net. He's not more powerful than some of the truly OP characters that everybody knows is OP, like the Geth Infiltrator and the Turian. The Turian ghosts and stuff, just because they churn out they do a ton of DPS. They get around, they kill enemies. They could steal kills from this guy just because homing grenades. I've got a really slow ass travel speed. I mean, essentially, he can do a ton of damage if nobody else gets in the way. It's not so long that he does suffer from kill stealing, but it's long enough that any one of the other OP guys absolutely can. He's not the most broken character, and obviously he's grenades as well. His ability to churn out that much damage does go down by the fact that he's got to keep those grenades going, and they're quite easy to get to eat through all your grenades, but look. Just go in and wreck the show. Literally just turn up and bring the party to the party. The Drell assassin is so cool. And it's quick. It's so. I think that's what I love about it. It's just that you go in, you blow up the place, and you're gone. Because your friends can be in a crowd of enemies. You turn up, you leave them in smoke, and you're gone. Like a ninja, you and all the enemies have gone. You just go in. I love this guy. I really do. I think he's a really cool, fun character. Clever combination of moves. Admittedly tricky to sort of wrap your head around, but once you get it down, very, very rewarding. A lot of fun. Right, that's enough tongue lashing. Let's try and give you some of the options and stuff here, because you don't need to do exactly what I'm doing here. Obviously, I got the talon. It's fantastic. It strips shields because it does like 150% damage to shields and barriers. So, and it hits hard. So it's really covering everything I need there, because I obviously want the shields gone so I can apply my ammo to them, and I obviously want to hit hard because I've got bosses and stuff to gun down. No, so I was getting greedy here. It's a stupid death. I was trying to get the Marauder to shift in with the group and get him blown up in the whole Recon mine, but I should have taken him out when I had the opportunity, so I'm just going to give him a kick in the head for making me look like a dick. But, you know, it's what it happens. But no, that's what you kind of want. You definitely want to be sort of setting up explosions, because, you know, really just piling in the damage you can do with this guy. The Talon's amazing for it because it strips shields, but, you know, the Scorpions are always a good choice for that guy. So you stick one of the little sticky balls directly, you're going to make that enemy ready for an explosion. Eagle's another good one for him, because you can just because it's all about getting the power magnifier on there as well, guys. You do want the power magnifier because look, that's ramping up the Recon mine and the homing grenades, and obviously we got the damage boost from the tactical cloak and the power amplifier. It's massive damage, and you know that's another reason why you do want the impact radius on the homing grenades, guys, because we're trying to keep up with the Recon mine, guys. It's debuffing a 12-meter radius, so we want to hit as much of that radius as possible. It's a really good idea to try and pick and choose where you're sending your homing grenades. You know, so if you've got like a massive group of enemies, literally try and separate them. Sort of divide them, because remember you've got 3 meters with your homing grenade, 12 meters with your Recon mine, so literally, so you can, if you like, you can break it up to 4, send up 4 homing grenades to just literally hit every debuffed enemy in the group. You'll probably never need to do that even on Platinum. I think three homing grenades is like the most you need to put out into a situation, but I do go wild sometimes. I went off track again. So Eagle's a good one, just because it streams out bullets. It is a little caster gun, so that's pretty good for applying ammo to. And in the same respect, you can go with the SMGs then as well. They got the power magnifier as well, so you can go ahead and do things like the Hurricane, the Tempest, and the Collector SMG. Really good, really great choices for this build. You can go with something like the Geth plasma shotgun as well. That staggers with every shot. It does a lot of damage. And another important aspect of this character is you still do want weapon damage, guys, just because of the speed in which your powers travel, and the fact that what the homing grenades are spec'd for is to make enemies take more weapon damage. So you kind of still want to have a gun that does good weapon damage. So Geth plasma shotgun's amazing for that, and because it's a projectile, it's really good at setting up your tech bursts and stuff like in this scenario. And Falcon as well. Okay, that's another great projectile weapon that just sets up a crowd of enemies to help you really. You can always set up as many enemies for a tech burst as you can actually get debuffed by the Recon mine. But you'll probably want to carry like an SMG as well then, so that you can hurt the armor, get the weapon damage out. But you don't need to really focus on getting the extra elemental explosion. I mean, it's nice. It's added damage is always a good thing, but you really can just sort of churn out some nice damage with like your usual culprits, your Wraith, Claymore, Piranha, Harrier, Lancer, that you just go around, debuff the enemy, send out your homing grenades, and gun down anything that survives, and pick off the stragglers of the Recon mine. You can just obviously just go weapons class style with some really great power support. Well, it's not even power support; it's still weapon support, but those guns are. Just turn out so much DPS, you'll probably find yourself gunning a lot more if you were carting one of those around. I've obviously got the Disruptor on to get some tech burst. It's mainly because I got a lot of Disruptor. Obviously, fire is going to be better, explosions, and cryo's good too. But if you still want to just churn out the damage, just go with like armor, drill, warp. It's all fine. It really is. I call him Bon Voyage, okay? He goes in, he makes everything go bang, and then he's gone, okay? That's that situation dealt with. Move on to the next one. And I just like to get all the explosions and just really capitalise on the incredible crowd control this guy can do. That's why we're also rocking a power amplifier, of course. Okay, got the power amp 4 on, that's a 50% increase to power damage. You definitely want that. But, you know, it is only 3 points in fitness. If you get hit, you go down. It's very easy to survive just because of the incredible crowd control that we've got. But, you know, you can obviously just go with some more survivability. You can get yourself the shield power cells. They're great for infiltrators. You might have seen earlier then I've been a bit reckless with my ops packs in the beginning of the game just because I've been dancing around in Ravager goo. I was trying to save one then. I actually went into hard cover to get some damage reduction, because it does. The hard cover gives you a damage reduction. So when I might have been warped or I touched Ravager goo. I can't remember why I felt the need to do it, but I knew I was taking damage over time, so I went into cover just to sort of save the kind of, you know, spare the kind of damage I was going to take then. But, you know, because of that though, you can cloak and take hard cover and stuff. Shield power cells is always good for infiltrators because you can obviously just get your shields to recharge real quickly because you're not going to be taking damage. Adrenaline module is always amazing on these speedy characters as well, because it just makes you incredibly hard to hit, so you take less damage as a result. You can even go with a cyclonic modulator if you really wanted to, guys, and just you can actually tank if you put a cyclonic modulator 4 on. You know, get some really good health on him, even with only 3 bars of fitness. I mean, I've been through this with the Geth Infiltrator. It even makes him pretty tanky. You know, the whole glass cannon thing just sort of falls out the window when you put a cyclonic modulator 4 on these guys. The gear, though, is the grenade capacity for obvious reasons. I mean, these things are going out kind of like the Inferno grenades do on my Batarian Soldier. You do want something like that, especially for this kind of build, guys. You want something, at least go with like something like the Shock Trooper or the Warfighter package. And, you know, like I always say, there's things like the Assault loadout. Is it the Assault loadout? Yes, it is. And the thermal clip storage as well. Okay, so you've got the extra thermal clips, so you can at least get your grenades back that way. You don't want more grenades. And, you know, you don't need a grenade spam. It's really, really effective and cool, but you don't need to do it. You can obviously just make sure that the grenades that you do have hit extra hard, so you can go with things like the mental focuser. And yes, you can go with the engineering kit. Something I brought up in my Demolisher video that I wasn't entirely sure of at the time was whether or not these grenades, these like techie grenades, were actually tech powers or whether they were just combat powers. Because you might see at the end of the Demolisher video, I only have actually get 10 tech kills. And one of my subscribers came out and gave me some clarity. A big thank you goes out to Hirewood. He pointed out that the arc grenades actually are combat powers, but the homing grenade is a tech power. So things like the engineering kit, the omnicapacitor, and the omnicapacitors will actually make your homing grenades hit stronger. Not your recon mine, but it will make your thing. Now, I actually looked into this as well. It's not because I doubted him or thought he was a liar or anything. It's just because I wanted to double check this, because if it is true, I want to pass on the information to you guys. I looked into this whole grenade thing, and quite interestingly, actually, yes, homing grenades are tech and arc grenades are combat. But the thing is, what I've read is that the damage over time that you can get with the electrical damage evolution of arc grenades is actually a tech. So, you know, if you killed an enemy with the damage over time, it would count as a tech kill. But if you kill them with the initial blast, that is a combat. That's a combat power. So, you know, you can actually increase the dot on arc grenades with engineering kit and stuff, but you won't make the blast stronger. So, you know, that's something to consider. But no, thank you again, Hirewood, for bringing some clarity on that one. But that's the truth of the tech grenades, okay, guys? I mean, I've given you the shield options as well, guys. I told you can rock the shield booster and the cyclonic modulator for his armor bonus, but you can go ahead and do that for his gear bonus as well, or instead, you know, you get some balance on. You do want to put the damage out, guys, but you know, you can go ahead and use. I say them all the time. I say them all the time as well. what are they? It's the survivor loadout, the stronghold package, and the shield booster. All good stuff there. But you know, all the Drells have really great ways to survive. You know, they are glass cannons. That's the balance to these kind of characters, like the Drell and the Geth. Okay, they put out a lot of damage, but they can't really take it. But all the Drells actually have really great ways to survive. It's like the Adept. He's got Reeve, so you know every enemy he attacks with Reeve, which is pretty much every enemy he's going to see. Sorry, Dom, gotta get the device done. I was telling him to hit A, and I'll come and pick him up, but he got up anyway, and then he gets eaten again because he got all soft from hiding off the map. I'll pick him up. But no, it's like so the Drell Adept's actually got Reeve, and that gives him a major damage reduction, which is really great for him to survive. In fact, it gives him immense survivability if you're just going around Reeving absolutely everything. The Vanguard, of course, has got Biotic Charge, which just makes everybody, like all the Vanguards, survive off Biotic Charge. You just get that out frequently. And then this guy's, of course, he's got Tactical Cloak. You know, that means he just doesn't take the damage to begin with. You can avoid a lot of damage, although this is not going to be a fine example of that. I'm going to get sniped by a Ravager all the way over there, and now I'm going to give him my personal attention. Boom. Don't even have to bother this swarmer nonsense either. It's all over. It is. I will do that routine for like any armored target. Or any group. It's the one grenade thing. It's basically if there's like one solo armored target, Ravager or higher. I mean, I wouldn't bother with like a Dragoon or a Pyro. They're pretty flimsy armor. But I'm going to put the Recon mine out. I'm going to hit them with one homing grenade, and then I'm going to detonate the Recon mine. If it's a small group, I'll do the same. If it's a large group, they'll get 2. If it's a boss, they will get 2. If it's a boss within a group, they'll get 3. And there's a roadhouse for the Bwnci. But no, see, I've got 3 points in my fitness, guys, and just because of the way the Infiltrators rock the tactical cloak here, I'm actually surviving pretty well. Survive really well, I think. Apart from that one Marauder, which I kind of let kill me, and getting sniped by that Ravager. You know, those are deaths that'll get anybody to be. Let's be honest. I mean, they're sad deaths, and I'm going to get taken out on this extraction wave now as well by this ghost warp ball. It's going to come out of fucking nowhere and drop me. But you don't really need to worry about being squishy with an Infiltrator, to be honest, guys. Especially when you're putting out this kind of crowd control. I mean, look, that was cool as well, wasn't it, guys? It was the debuff from the homing grenade. So I just literally popped those 2 brutes off with a shot each from the talon. He's just got so much incredible potential with him. And a lot of people are scared off because he's not that simple. He's not that basic like 2-step maneuver. It's not just like cloak, shoot, proximity mine, and then gun them down. It's a little bit more complex. I think it's a 3-step rather than a 2-step, and that is it. It's this one extra step that seems to like discourage a lot of people from bothering with the homing grenades at all, and it's crazy. It is, guys, because with the homing grenades on this character, you can just do so much damage, and I just recommend you take them on. You don't need to drop them just because it means you got to do one more little extra thing. It isn't hard, guys. It is. It's just cloak, recon mine, homing grenades. Shoot until the homing grenades land, and then you finish it. And then you just detonate your recon mine and move on to the next, guys. It may sound like a mouthful, but it's not, guys. It's really easy in practice. I encourage you guys to go out and give it a try, because you're going to see by the scoreboard now that it is awesome. Really cool character. I mean, I kept dipping in and out of useful information there just to keep bathing this character in tongue lashings. Because he's really good. He's one of the best Infiltrators, absolutely. And he's like, and it's not just best because he does a lot of damage. He's best because he's a lot of fun, and he just does incredible crowd control. Really cool character. They were far and few in between in Retaliation, to be perfectly honest. So really kind of capitalise on the ones that were good, and he was, guys. But here's the scores. I'll leave your drills to hit the floor, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you then.